Hi, I'm Ken Danjanovich, your host of this edition of Sportsman's News Television. I'm in southwest Alaska on the Egegik River with Becharof Rapids Camp. Dave Mandich does an excellent job here. This is our second trip to this region of Alaska. We're here for the silver salmon run, and we'll be doing a lot of fly fishing, a little bit of spin cast, and you know, the neat thing about this river is there's something here for everyone. From the first timer to the seasoned veteran. You're going to catch fish, and you're going to catch plenty of them. As you can see, we've already had a good start to this trip, and I'm going to enjoy this trip, and I know you're going to enjoy this edition of Sportsman's News Television.
What this setup is that you keep the tip up. You can actually see the tip playing a little bit. They're playing with it. You don't want them to golf the hook, because then you can't hook and release at this point. So just a little teeny tip motion. Just try to set the hook, and you're going to get them in the loops. Just keep the tip up. Just keep the line tight. You don't see that if it's lined in. There it is. Oh.
So Rick, have you got other species on that?
We do. We've been catching silvers, nice silvers, on the road, and this picked up a char. And he's a good one.
So then, Dave, the Arctic char are a species that does not go back to the ocean, right?
Correct. Dolly Varden here. These Arctic char. 11. Yeah, so this is 11 members and 13. So this is a big dolly. That's what this is.
That's a big dolly.
This is a big dolly.
Just by the number of ribs in the fin.
That's the number of ribs in the fin. If you're not going to kill it and open it up to eat it. The way it goes.
Okay, my first fish here this afternoon. As you see, that's probably a seal, I would imagine. Got him coming into the system. We're only about 8 miles from the ocean here. We're a couple miles from the Becharof Lake, which is the second largest lake in all of Alaska. So it's an interesting system here, and
well, I'm from Colorado. And this is quite a bit different than catching trout in the Colorado River back home. There's so many fish, it sometimes boggles the mind how many fish come up the river. Dave and Nancy and everybody up here have been, great pals when I'm up here, and friends, and so it's sort of like coming back home to a place.
And you're a fly fisherman?
Mostly fly fishermen. Yeah, I catch a few on spinners now and then, but mostly flies, and it's a great place for fly fishing.
Just come out of salt water. Catch them in fresh. They're just out of salt water. Nice fish.
This is an interesting take. I saw a couple jump down here out quite a ways, so I threw out about half of my fly line, and then I let out about another 10 or 15 feet of slack. I let the current take it and just let it dead drift. And About 2 seconds later, wham, hit it hard, took the top fly. I'm using a weighted bunny leech on top with a non-weighted purple showgirl on the bottom, and nice fish. Here with Becharof Rapids Camp on the Igagik River. I'll tell you, if you're looking for a great silver salmon experience, boy, I don't know very many more places where you can come and experience a river where you can wade fish for silver salmon. We catch a few dolly varden. There's chum salmon here at this time. We've hooked into a king today. Of course, the king season is over, but we would have had to let it go. We lost it. We actually caught that one on an 8-pound monofilament, and so that was quite a battle. You can't horse them, and chances are you're going to lose them. But boy, a lot to offer here. Talk about a wilderness camp. It's about probably a 20 or 25 minute floatplane ride from king salmon, and so we're in the middle of the wilderness. Only a couple of camps here on this river, and like I said, we're at the just a couple miles from Becharof Lake, which is the second largest lake in all of Alaska. So a neat area. There's caribou in this area, tons of ptarmigan. So if you decide to come here, talk to Dave Mandich about possibly bringing your shotgun along and do a little bit of ptarmigan hunting as well. There's so many, the limit here I believe is 20 ptarmigan. So pretty good population here, and boy, a lot to do here at Becharof Rapid Camp in just outside of King Salmon in the Bristol Bay region. Ken Danjanovich here with one of the guides here at Becharof Rapids Camp, Chris Bukowski. And Chris, tell us a little bit about the packages you guys have here available, length of time, what's included, and the possibility of even some flyouts, I understand, too.
Yes, sir. We have a 6-day, 5-night trips we usually do for the silvers on the Igagik River here. And then we do remote flyouts. We can go to the back of the lake. We have a boat back there. We keep back there. If the weather's permitted for us to go to the back of the lake, it's very weather conscious back there. We also do flyouts to remote creeks, and we can overnight camp at those creeks too for the trips. It's usually a 2-day trip.
Okay, so on anything as far as the flyouts go, that's an add-on to the regular trip?
That is an add-on to the regular trip. We've been booking those at the beginning of your trip, not at the end. That way we can...
Everybody's leaving at the same time.
Everybody leaves at the same time.
The other thing too I've noticed is that you get a lot of return business. This week I think every person here at the lodge has been here before, and a number of times, not just once or twice.
Yes, most of these guys, this whole group's been coming for about 6 years, and several of them have been coming almost since Dave's opened the place about 12 years ago.
You know, that's a really good light on what that lodge is doing for those people when they're willing to take these trips to a great place like Alaska, but they have such a good experience that they're willing to go back again and again and again to the same operation. That's a testament to how well you guys do.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
You bet.
been up here this week primarily throwing fly lines, throwing a sinking flies, typical silver patterns. Pink has been on fire this week. This is a weighted dumbbell-eyed bunny leech. A little bit of flash in it. The flash has been working well. The other colors have been working well, have been the purples. Purple with maybe a little bit of red or a little bit of pink on it. Purple with the flash again. Those flies have been doing really well this week. Dumbbell eyes, weighted flies that get down quickly. We've been throwing 15-foot sink tip lines on our 9-foot 7 and 8 weight rods. Don't come up here under rod. You need to have at least a 7, I think, on a minimum. You could go up to a 9, preferably probably an 8 weight 9-foot rod. These fish are strong. You can see they're football size. They're very strong fish. They're fresh from the ocean. They'll give you a lot of fight for a good long time. You're going to have a good time when you come up here, so bring the right gear. We've got steelhead tapered leaders, 12-pound leaders there. I've got a 15-pound fluorocarbon tippet that I've been using. And so bring the right gear, come up here, you're going to have a really good time. We're down on what they call a lagoon. Big, wide, shallow expanse. It's late in the day, it's after supper. Still pretty light, but it's after supper, and we've got some pods of fresh fish that are working just off the beach. So we're down kind of walking along the beach looking for fins and signs of fish, and just kind of sneak in on them and see if we can get a shot. We've had a couple of them hooked up. I had one that broke off on the first jump. Nice fish. So we're just kind of working these fish on the beach.
Chris, one of your the most popular flyouts, it sounds like, is back to the back end of Becharof Lake at the Wildlife Refuge. And tell us a little bit about what the people are in for when they go back there, not just for the fishing, but for wildlife viewing as well.
Yeah, you'll be able to see world-class caribou and bears back there. There's lots of bears, and the fishing is extremely good back there. There's 57 remote creeks back there, and it's totally uninhabited. So you're fishing a creek maybe nobody's fished in the last 10 years.
Rainbows, dolly varden, rainbows, char,
grayling, that kind of things back there. So not every creek has rainbows in it, but a majority of them do. So.
Well, you know, and the one reason why they're all back there too is probably because of the big sockeye run in this area. What was Dave telling me? There 53 million salmon they figure came into the Bristol Bay system this year.
Yeah, we had an escapement of 1.3 million through this river this season, so
yeah, that's big time.
Yep, and they're all back there stacked up, and you could the creeks are just red with them.
Well, you're looking at 400 plus class caribou that haven't been hunted since 1999.
That's right. There's no pressure on those, and I see very little pressure on them, even though they opened it for hunting, because there's only one way in there, and that's by boat.
Yeah, because you can't fly.
You cannot fly in there during hunting season.
That's neat, yeah. So, boy, a little bit of everything to offer here at Becharof Rapids, and Dave Bandich and his staff do an excellent job in every way. at that, right in the corner of the mouth. My line was wrapped around him, and so it was bringing him in sideways, but that's also what kept him out of flying through the air too much. Now this has been in the river a few hours longer. You notice that's where the sea lice were. Now they're gone. So that means he's been in the water for a little bit longer. You know, probably maybe 2 days, I'd imagine, because they say they'll last about 36 hours. There's one on the other side, so that's a good indication of how long they've been in the water. So. That was a rainbow. Well, there you have it. It's amazing how quickly these weeks go by when we're at these great fishing venues like Becharof Rapids Camp here in southwest Alaska. Had another great week. Tons of silvers, fly rod, spin cast, roe, you name it. Every guest here has had a great experience. The food's been wonderful. The staff is great. And boy, the next time you're looking for a great adventure in Alaska, give Dave Mandich a call at Becharof Rapids Camp, just outside of King Salmon, Alaska. And as always, thank you for joining us on this edition of Sportsman's News Television.
Sportsman's News Television is brought to you by Alps Outdoors. Exceed your expectations. CVA. It's just a better gun. Double Tap Ammunition. Made with pride in the USA. Sitka. Turning clothing into gear. Browning. The best there is. Bushnell Trophy Cam HD. And brought to you by your local Ford stores, home to built Ford tough trucks.
What's America's best-selling brand of trucks? You're in for a big surprise, pal. Actually, you're not. It's Ford F-Series again, and it wasn't even close. Same trucks that have been leading the industry for 39 straight years. Why? Game-changing innovation, like F-150's high-strength military-grade aluminum alloy, which helps make it stronger, more capable, and more efficient than ever. Innovation. It's why Ford F-Series is making every other truck brand history.